A lot of guys always ask the question, what do I do, Steve, when it comes to first dates? Because at the end of the day, I know you always say, well, you shouldn't ask questions. So Steve, what should I do? What are the questions that I should ask? And what this is about there's a certain kind of question a man needs to ask himself when he's going on a date. And I think that's what we're going to be talking about and discussing today. I think most of you guys out here don't understand that you got to understand your first date when you are with a woman, it is never going to be about impressing her. I want you guys to understand that. I think many guys out here assume that in order to get a woman, we've got to sit around and try to impress her. And that's not the case actually when it comes to the game, because we don't try to impress women. We're quite impressive by the way that we talk and handle ourselves to women. But I think that a lot of guys don't understand when I talk about the game. I don't want anybody to ever be in a position to try to impress a woman. But what I want the person to do is I want them to learn how to inspect the woman. And I think a lot of guys don't understand what inspecting means, because a lot of guys are under this assumption that they're not the prize. See, you don't go into a job interview begging. You go in to see if the company deserves your talent, and that's how it works. And it's the same exact thing right here. But before you ever sit across from a woman, not taking her out to dinner, but going for coffee, tea, or ice cream, before you even open that car door, you need to spend some time with yourself and ask yourself questions before you even ask her questions. But before I even do this, I do want to say to you guys out here, and I know it's probably going to shock you young men, but I really want to talk about the main question a lot of women are going to ask you and why you shouldn't do it. If a woman ever asks you what you do for a living, never answer that question, because this is not about what you do for a living, because compatibility isn't about what we do for a living. I think a lot of young men go wrong because they assume that I've got to share certain kind of information with a woman. And gentlemen, that's not the game. And so many guys go wrong because they assume that you got to tell a woman your job. Listen, your job is personal, but your job is not going to define what kind of relationship you should be in with a woman. I think so many guys go wrong with this, but regardless of that, gentlemen, this is about you talking to yourself. And this is about you trying to understand who you are, what you are, and actually what you deserve when it comes to women. See, I think so many guys out here is that they've got to start asking themselves questions, and no one really tries to navigate you young men to understand what's important when it comes to dates. And what's important when it comes to dates is you. It's you, it's your time, and it's everything in between. And the thing is, if you don't have a love, a passion, an understanding and desire for yourself, you're always going to look at relationships the wrong way. And that's what we want to talk about today for all you guys that are listening to the show. This is not about her body. This is not about her Instagram. This is not about her smile. At the end of the day, it's always going to come down to her character. Because beauty will get you excited, gentlemen. I've always said that there's nothing wrong with how a woman looks. I mean, that's what we're in. That's what we do. It's fine. I don't ever want to seem like I'm beating you up because you like how a woman looks. That's not the problem. But this is not about Instagram, her curves, her smile. At the end of the day, you have to have a vetting process by who you are as a man. When you are one thought, one mind, one way, there is a certain way that you see the world. And the way you see the world is very important in the game. Excuse me, the camera's kind of shaking. But it's very important how you see the game and how you see the world. Because if you can't see the world in a way where you're looking for her character, you are always going to struggle with women, because beauty will get you excited, okay? But the thing is, character is either going to protect who you are as a man, or it's actually going to destroy your kingdom. And that is why so many guys have so many bad relationships with so-called what they consider beautiful women. They always make the biggest mistake by assuming that because she looks a certain way, she's going to act and behave a certain way, and that's not true. Let's get into it, because rule number one in the game, gentlemen, is that I've always asked myself, when I get around a woman, is she consistent or is she chaotic? And think about that for a second, because I want to tell you something. See, consistency to me is sexy. That's why I never tell a woman she's beautiful or anything like that. Her consistency, remember guys, I've always tell you this, and I will always be the only one on YouTube to tell you this. Action equals truth. Effort is everything, right? And what's important to me is sexy is the way she moves, but unattractive to me is a woman that brings chaos into your life. And if a woman brings chaos into your life, she should be gone. A good woman that you want to mess with and chill with has to move at a steady pace, okay? They respond when they say they will. They show up, gentlemen, when they say they're going to show up. And they're going to work with you any way possible, because they're saying to you, I'm really interested in you, I like you, and I want to get to know you better. But see, where a lot of gentlemen go wrong in all of this, they look at bad women, because bad women, they're 50-50. Some of them are hot, some of them are cold. You know, Monday she might be affectionate. Wednesday she might be distant. Friday she's just busy. That's not mystery, gentlemen. That is instability. And as men, we do not entertain instability. Here's the rule, the law, and the code of the game, man. Look, I need a woman to match what I am, match my energy, but never chase temperature, gentlemen. Because if she goes cold on the first date, don't sit around and investigate and all that other stuff. Don't send her paragraphs or anything like that. Step back. When she goes cold, charge it to the game. Because when you have the game, your time and everything you are as a man is actually valuable. And you have to treat your time the same way. If she cannot maintain a basic consistency, okay, before you even take her out, imagine what that's going to look like 6 months from now. What is it going to look like a day from now? Why waste your time? Why go through emotional roller coasters with women who don't try to work with you? Why try to fix somebody that's broken? Okay? A woman that is worthy of your kingdom doesn't create confusion. She's going to do everything she can to earn the access to you. And yes, I said the access to you. And if she can make that, if she can make your world easier than what it is, give her the access. Not because she doesn't do things because she's desperate. She really does things because she's actually stable. But what is also very important is, does she respect your time, or does she test your patience? And gentlemen, a lot of women are going to do that, because a lot of women are in a reality where they can call the shots, because a lot of guys out here don't believe in themselves. And when you don't believe in yourselves, you're going to believe in what the woman is saying. And that's why when you learn the game, you don't sit around here and try to force a woman to be things. Never try to change a woman. Always accept her for what she is, regardless of what you want her to be. And that's where a lot of guys go wrong, because they want this woman to be perfect in their eyes, because they created a woman who is perfect in their eyes. And that's where everything goes wrong. And I think when you are able to understand these parts and levels of the game, everything begins to change. Well, as I was saying before, See, I've seen so many guys out here fumble and mess up so many times, so many of my clients. But you know what's so weird about that? I've always learned that, look, a woman that is actually going to respect your time, okay, is going to tell you everything about how she is going to treat you and treat the relationship that you have. The question that you got to ask, is she the kind of woman that is going to confirm plans, or she is going to forget? Is she going to make excuses? Is she going to sit around and beat around the bush, play games, and not be accountable for her actions? See, the thing that I want you guys to understand when it comes to women, and really understand, is the rule of entitlement. See, a lot of these women actually feel that because they have a body, that they are entitled to do whatever they want, whenever they want, and that's not the thing. As a man, I am never going to argue with entitlement. I'm just, again, going to remove access. Because when you get with a good woman, from you guys out there, a good woman understands this, that time is actually currency, and she is not going to waste your time. And a woman who is actually worthy of your kingdom and your empire, gentlemen, is not going to treat you like an option. She is going to treat you like a priority. You know what I want in a woman? I want a woman without you having to tell you what's going on in my life, not because of insecurities or anything, but when you are actually a priority to a woman, they're going to tell you everything. They're going to let you know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and they're going to keep you involved. I gave you another analogy before, and I'll give it again. So, if a woman is going out of town, let me make sure I get over. Hold on a second, gentlemen. I got to fix my thing. Car wash knocked my mirror out of the way. So, if a woman is going out of town, I'll give you a prime example. And this is how it should be. And if you're not getting this from a woman, you're with the wrong woman. If a woman is going out of town, the whole week she's going to feel bad about not seeing you. She's going to tell you how much I miss you and all that other stuff. And the day of going out of town, even though her life is busy, she's going to find time to reach out to you, say good morning. Hey, baby, you know, I'm packing. I'm about to go to the airport. Now, depending on the level of how much she thinks about you and cares about you, she is going to keep you involved in her day. Guys, I am not making this up. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not making this up. What a woman is actually going to do is keep you involved in her day. Baby, this is going on. I just made it to the airport. I got to get in there, check my bags in. And once I check my bags in, I'll get in touch with you. Then once she gets situated, she'll message you. It doesn't mean she has to talk to you all the time, but she'll message you. Then she'll let you know I'm getting on the airplane, take pictures, take photos, and say, hey, here, check this out, baby. I'm about to fly and everything like that. I'll see you when I land. I miss you. I care about you, blah, blah, blah. And then when she lands, the moment the plane touches the ground, she is saying, baby, I just landed. I want to let you know I made it safely. I'm going to go ahead and get my Uber, whatever. And then, baby, I made it to the hotel. I'm saying, Jim, I know you think this sounds crazy, but this is how women operate that actually are showing you you are a priority. And guys, how do I know that? Because I don't have to ask for that. That's the norm. That's the norm that women will do when you are a priority. But the one thing that you guys have got to stop doing, you have to stop rewarding disrespect. The problem is, for many of you guys out here, disrespect is a woman that is not putting any effort into you. She's popping into your life here and there. A woman that's actually a priority, gentleman, is not going to pop in and out of your life. If you are messing with a woman and you don't talk to her within 24 hours, then charge her to the game, man. Charge her to the game. Because women that are into you want to be around you all the time. And a woman that is not around you is actually telling you that I'm just not interested in you. The next thing is, you got to ask yourself, is or does this woman take accountability, okay? Or does she blame the world for everything going wrong with her, okay? And this one right here, gentlemen, is actually going to separate the ones that are worthy from the ones who are not, man. You have to pay attention when you're talking to a woman, you just got to pay attention to how she talks about her past. You know, if she say things like, my ex was toxic, or, you know, the boss was crazy, or every friend she had in her life betrayed her, you gotta make sure you don't look at the body, listen to the patterns, because her patterns are actually going to tell you and show you that she is actually not that woman you should be messing with. And that is why a good woman is always going to say, you know what, I learned from that. A good woman is going to own her mistakes, and she's not going to blame the world. She's going to say, you know what? There were things that happened to me that are my fault. It's on me. I did this. I did that. And some of this is my fault. You know, I had a relationship with somebody. I didn't manage it right. I didn't manage him right. And things just didn't work out. That's the kind of woman you want to deal with. And see, what I learned at a young age is that if a woman never takes accountability for her past, gentlemen, she is never going to take accountability with you, and that's it. And guys, I know that sucks because most of you guys want to sleep with these women, but you have to see who you're sleeping with. And that means every argument that you have, or every misunderstanding, is always going to be your fault. Every argument, every misunderstanding. And guess what? It's going to end up with her not apologizing, but her sitting there blaming you for everything that's wrong in her life. You are always going to be the one to get the blame. She is always going to blame you for every little thing that's going wrong in her life. And you are not signing up to be a woman's emotional punching bag. That's not the game, gentlemen, at all. You know what? I always want a woman that's going to say, you know what? Yeah, I messed up. You know, yeah, I kind of slipped up a little bit. You know, sometimes I get certain ways. You know, I showed you the audios of a woman that is taking accountability, saying, you know what, it's my fault. I can't handle you. I can't handle how you felt about me. And if y'all don't know what it sounds like, I'll give you an example. Let me pull it up on the phone. But I need you to hear accountability, because it's such a weird thing with women. I want you. This is accountability. Let me give you guys an example of accountability right here. Hold on, guys. Let me give you an example. This is accountability. This is a woman that realizes she's messed up. This is a woman that realized that, you know what, I was wrong. I did. And this is the woman that is worthy of you when they say things like this. Wait, not that. When they talk this way. Let me turn it up on my phone. Check this. Listen.
Hey, I thought I'd just call you one more time to say, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I also feel like, truthfully, I'm a failure.
I'm a failure.
And I think that this is going to keep happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep having blow-ups and emotional outbursts because you keep giving doses of your amazing energy, your charisma, your sexual passion, and I want more. And I try to manage my feelings 6 days out of the week, every week. But I don't think I'm capable of continuing down this path because you're such a powerful force, and I want more of it. And I thought that you making rules about expectations around when I can have you and how often we can talk on the phone was something I could manage, but it's not. Like, you're too much of a good thing for me to sit here and like try to manage my feelings around it. Like, I'm going to keep having explosions. And so I think that I failed. I think that I thought that, you know, I could manage such a powerful person as you, but I can't. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And you don't have time for to help me cope with that. And you have so many other things that you have to take care of, and I'm like another task for you. And so I apologize. And I just want to say I'm sorry. And I believe that I just failed at being patient for you. And, you know, I have to just suffer the consequences.
Ooh, gentlemen, that is exactly what gentlemen, that's the kind of woman you want to work with. Not a woman that's going to say it's your fault. You are to blame for this. It's all your fault and all this other stuff. See, when you get this game down, man, these women out here are going to recognize your value and your worth. And they're going to recognize if I don't really admit that I'm the problem, then I'm going to lose a good man. And this is why I always keep telling you, see, attention, validation, free dinners, emotional labor, look, is always going to give you access to her network, but it's not going to do anything for as far as your stability. And so many guys go wrong with this because they're not gaming it out. They're not looking at everything the right way. Here's the difference. See, when a woman is actually attracted to your lifestyle, she is going to respect everything about you. She is going to ask about your goals and things that you want to do. And she's going to support your focus. And she is going to do everything that she can to be a part of your life. She's not going to be in your life, but be a part of it. And she is never going to compete with what you're doing because she knows the value. And a woman really addicted to attention is going to panic when you are busy, is going to need consistent reassurance. She's going to get upset when you don't text fast enough. And as a man, we don't deal with that with a woman. We make sure the way we move and the way we think is only for us and us alone. And as you get this down, man, you can be able to control the game, but you always have to reward effort and you remove benefits from poor behavior. If she is only interested in you because you're showering her with validation, then you got to pull back and cut her off, man. Because you guys out here, you are too busy being the guy trying to entertain the woman versus being the man forcing her to step up and show why she should be messing with you. And that's where many guys go wrong. And if she doesn't add any peace, okay, all right, she is either going to do what, okay? When you're kind of like checking out a woman, all right? Does she bring you peace and can she bring you pleasure? Because if she can't bring you peace and pleasure, you gotta let her go, man. You gotta let her go. Because a woman that's actually messing with you wants to give you pleasure. And I'm not just talking about a sexual way. I mean pleasure as in I'm messing with you. You're the one I want to be with. And what I'm saying for a lot of you guys, y'all have got to stop ignoring this at the end of the day. See, a woman who belongs to your kingdom is always going to respect your boundaries before she is invited in. And check this out. She never competes ever with your peace. What she's going to do is compliment it, okay? And if she adds pleasure, that's an added bonus. But don't ever force a woman to be something that she doesn't want to be. Learn the game, gentlemen, as I keep trying to tell you, because as long as you learn the game the way I'm showing you, you're never going to have problems and issues with women. And I know, guys, y'all are new to all of this because no one's ever taught you how to ask questions. Never ask questions to interview a woman. Ask yourself questions and get the proper answers for yourself to know how you need to maneuver and move around with a woman. When you can actually do that, you change everything up. That's the beauty about being a man, is changing up the rules of the game. And if you can change up the rules of the game, gentlemen, you change up everything, because she is not used to a man that is locked into who he is. So gentlemen, just remember that. And guys, this is going to be the end of the video, but not the end of our discussion. Guys, when you are ready to soak this game up, when you are ready to grow, just go ahead and ask for your pathway. All right, just ask for it. themanmindset@gmail.com. We'll send you a PDF. Okay, we'll send you something. And give you what's going on with that. But also, gentlemen, remember that if you're not ready, we've got videos, shorts, YouTube videos, and we go live. And that's the important thing about what we're trying to show all you guys out here. We are trying to show you that there are actually people out there that are not going to shape shift and move around. We are these people. So what I am saying at the end of the day, guys, before you get dressed for that date, before you spend money, before you open that door, Ask yourself these questions and say and have the answer. But don't ask her questions. Watch how she moves. Watch how she operates, even before the date. And it's going to actually tell you what you're dealing with, okay? Now, guys, if you like this video, you're going to love the video that we have right here, guys. Please soak up this game, and I will definitely talk to you guys later. Peace.